Hey guys, welcome back. Today, I know previously I said I was going to talk about the Canada roster possibilities for the Olympics, and now that the prelim rosters have been released, I will go on to talk about that in another episode. But today there's been a few more re-signings of RFAs and one particular UFA. So I thought, why not? Let's discuss that today instead, because we have so much time before these rosters for the Olympics are cut down. So I want to try and get it as close as possible. I don't want to look at. I think the final rosters are released near the end of 2013, so I don't really want to. I've got basically every player wrong apart from like Sid, Taves, and Stamkos really. So possibly the biggest RFA um, yet has been re-signed in the form of Sam Gagner. He's got 14.4 million over 3 years, which works out at 4.8 mil a year. I heard he was asking for 5.5 before arbitration, and the Oilers were thinking more 4.5. So they've almost met in the middle, not quite, but almost. I think it's a good amount of money for both parties involved. You know, he had a very good season last year. I believe he was second on scoring with the Oilers, and he is their second line centre really going forward. You can really imagine them having two lines which are used roughly the same amount of time, with the Nuge centering the top line, and then Sam Gagner centering the second line. Because you've got Jordan Eberle, Taylor Hall, now Yakupov, and then one other really fitting into the top six. So in terms of what we can expect from Sam Gagner going forward, you're really looking at 60 points plus. I would imagine for that second line centre there, I would imagine he'd be centering the second power play unit, with the new centering the top unit. And of course now they've also added David Perron from the St. Louis Blues. So in terms of their top six, it's looking rather good at the moment. Depth-wise, they're not bad. The main problem again for them will be defence and goaltending for the Oilers. Now, I don't think they're going to reach the playoffs this year. I think it's probably 1 year too early. But for Sam Gagner, it's a great chance, really. I think to maybe become the captain of this team and really put himself out there as a leader, because he's a youngster. He's played a lot of games for considering how young he is. So he's the younger, older guy basically on this team, and I think eventually he will turn out to be a bit of a leader. He has a no movement clause in the second year of the contract, so if the Oilers think it's not working out, they can move him in the third year. I wouldn't imagine they'll be moving him this year, but we don't know what the Oilers think they can do in terms of where they could finish in the league. If they really are pushing for that playoff position and don't make it, say they're out of the race with just before the trade deadline, we could see some assets move maybe. But I think it's a good deal for all parties. Good money for Sam Gagner, and the Oilers are getting a good player who's played a lot of games for them previously. The next RFA who has been signed is Brian Little, who's got a 5-year deal totaling 23.5 mil. Now, this seems like quite a lot to me for a guy whose best season came quite a few years ago when he played with Kovalchuk in Atlanta. So I can understand why the Jets have paid a lot of money here. It must be relatively hard for them to attract players in free agency, so keeping your own players is obviously very important for them. It just seems like a little bit too much. I would have put him at maybe the 3.5, kind of area, maybe 3.75. But you know, you're talking almost 5 mil here. So I don't know. You're up with some very high scoring wingers when you're talking 5 mil. You've got the likes of James Neal there, people like that. Bobby Ryan's just over 5 mil. We've just seen David Clarkson sign for over 5 mil. But if you ask me who I wanted, Brian Little or David Clarkson, I would take Brian Little every day. So in terms of the David Clarkson deal, they have a good deal. But if the Jets really, I can't see the Jets challenging for a number of seasons, but I don't see them being a bottom of the league team. You know, they're not going to get a top 5 draft pick, in my opinion. They're going to be there or thereabouts for the playoffs. But they will, with this team, I think they will always fall short. So it's a hard one. What do you do? What do you do if you're the Jets GM? Really, to be honest, you could do with a car crash season. I think pick up a couple of draft picks, get some more youngsters in there, and I look to build a bit more, because I can't see them attracting the players in free agency which they need to really push for the playoffs. And finally, Jaromir Jagr has signed a 1-year deal with the New Jersey Devils. His fourth NHL team in the past 3 seasons. This will be, and you know, he could get traded at the deadline again. So yeah, I can understand why the Devils have done it. They need a couple more guys on forward to really fill out that roster now that they lost Kovalchuk and Clarkson. You know, they got Ryan Clough, but I don't know what his point production will be for them. So that about wraps up today's episode, guys. Next time I will probably talk about Team Canada and the roster, which has been released. I think is it 45 guys? I'm not quite sure. I'll discuss that next time. But until then, I hope you have a good day, and I shall see you in episode 24.